Yes, sir.
Okay. My slide is visible, Sai?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask, okay, let's start. Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy for that nice, or I would say rather a very liberal introduction. And fellow Toastmasters and guests, and really some of the guests are really somebody who are already expert. So I'm giving some talk in front of expert. I feel somewhat humbled. And each time I give a talk, it's a very humbling experience. Let me confess that. And to start with, designing a speech, getting the big picture right. Let me ask a few questions. Sridevi is there, I think. Sridevi, where do you live?
I live in Baswangudi.
Sai, where do you live?
Conan Kunte Cross, sir.
We have Ujjwal. Ujjwal, where do you live?
Sir, Timber Yard Layout.
What about Dr. Prakash?
Sir, same, same, new Timber Yard Layout.
That is the joke. All of you have given your physical location, but all of us, without exception, live in our minds. Remember that. That is the first location. And when we talk of mind, it is inside a brain. And brain is a problem-solving machine. Brain is a problem-solving machine. Don't forget that. And when we talk of problem solving, the first thing that comes to your mind is mathematics. And when you talk of mathematics, I would like to relate it to algebra, where algebra you are given something like a very simple equation, a plus b is equal to c. Given two parameters a and b, you can find c. But in speeches, it is slightly different. You will be given, instead of ABC, you will be given OBC, opening, body, conclusion. Given any one of these parameters, O, B, or C, you can find the other two. Whereas in the other case of algebra, you have to have two parameters to find the third one. That is the only difference. But essentially, broadly, it remains same. This is the first big picture I'm giving. There are going to be many big pictures. One at a time, we will go. Designing a speech, OBC is the ABC of the speech and also XYZ. Let it be very clear, okay? Then I'll take you through a kind of a model. If you see Toastmaster manuals, a lot of words are there in place. I wanted to condense it to some sort of a model or a paradigm. So I have drawn some sort of a flow chart. So here it comes. Opening, body, conclusion, I said. Opening should contain what? Attention catching. It should be attention catching opening, and it should lead to speech that you are going to give a talk. It leads to speech topic, let us put it that way. So opening should be attractive enough. See, today, if you see the speech of Ankita, she started William Wordsworth Daffodil poem. It was one such opening, okay? I will just compare immediately so that you can know what is the thing that's happening there. And the body of the speech, this is the bulk. And this bulk body of the speech, that's why I had drawn it a little wider, and it should contain anecdote incidents. It can be from your personal life, backed up by one or two well-known or published stories and statistics. It depends on the project specification, published stories and statistics. Why I'm talking of personal life alone, can it be, why not it can be speech itself. When you give your personal experience, the audience may feel, who is this man? Is he so great? Like Mahatma Gandhi or somebody like that. So if you have personal experience, if you can relate it to some well-known example, well-known anecdote, story, that is going to be authenticated and it will gel with the audience. I'm talking of gelling with the audience. Body of the speech should be like that. Then a conclusion should be there, a speech. Speech has a certain point of view. And that point of view has to be very clear. And that comes through in the conclusion mostly, because you have started with a supposition with attention catching opening, and conclusion should be there to loop up. See my cursor, it has to be looped up with the opening. like this. It has to be looped. How to do it is review or summarize what you have told already through the opening and body of the speech, and call to action or make a memorable statement. That's what Ankita did today. It was all in place. Let us put it that way. Then is that all? There is little more. That little more is, there are, after 2 or 3 speeches, the number of speeches that one person, new member more so, let us say, he stopped delivering because he thinks that the topic, he has run out of topics. And how to find topics is something that we have to address, let us say, where to get that topic. Then this is there in place. Then we need something else called, you should know where to get, that is know-how. Know-how is something you should know where to get from. It is typically in the manual. Now in Pathways, it's available in the Basecamp. Or you can straight away download the entire specification of a particular speech as a PDF, and you can repeatedly go through that. Besides what is given as assessment, training, and the works like that, including the video in the Basecamp. So there is a lot more improvement and facility inside the Basecamp, and that know-how comes from there. Then there is little more, and that little more is the end point. If you have written a speech, let us say, finally you are going to talk in front of the audience. What happens is that that speech is going to be evaluated by an evaluator. And that evaluator will be having a sheet or an evaluation form in front of him. He will do it as per that. And with that in mind, check your speech. And why I'm talking is, one of the 7 habits that Stephen Covey says is start or begin with the end in mind. This is the end point you have to start with. Okay, you have to start with the evaluator sheet, whether you have you have written the speech, and is it going to be evaluated properly, squarely, and you will be fulfilling that requirement. So check with respect to that. Once that is done, you can send it to your mentor, and whatever changes he suggests, incorporate. Then there are 3 R's that you have to do. That is, one important thing is that you have to schedule your speech with VPE. Once you do that, your countdown starts. When the countdown starts, you have 3 things to do all the time. One is write, which you have done, rehearse, and record. Today, there's a recording medium, a mobile. So you can check that thing, and then you can really consider whether it is up to the image that you have of yourself as a speaker. Verify that when image you have of yourself. And that is a very good way to go ahead. So this is small checklist that checkpoints I have given here. And then this, in essence, gives you a broad picture or a big picture of speech. This is valid for any speech. Let it be really be sinking home and let it be etched in your mind. Next, I'll take you through what are the resources for topics and what are the know-how, what the manual says. So resource for topic is icebreaker. It's very, very simple. Icebreaker, everyone will have given, but it will have been condensed to 4 to 6 minute speech. When you really write a icebreaker, it will be a big one, but you'll have dropped it. Preserve the first draft. It helps a lot. Icebreaker speech is about family, interest, and profession, which I have always been telling in my club, in our club or in various clubs as FIP, family, interest, and profession. When you say family, can we make a speech out of it? I would say one person had written a line. My father was in a transferable job and he lived in different places. I said, I gave a title topic like this, life and living in different places. And in different places, the culture is different. Pick up 1 or 2 and make a speech out of it. It came out as a beautiful speech. And as an experiment I have conducted with one specific speaker, one member, not from our club, from other club, wherein all his 10 speeches were from the icebreaker alone. And he could go through the CC completely. And today he is a ACS, that's another story. Let's move on to the another material, that is reference material, newspaper, magazines, and books. And these can be enormous source of topics. And we can talk, using that we can talk very, very authentically. And I have conducted again workshop. I don't want to go into that detail again. Table topic, this is a very, very obvious responses. Table topic responses are rich source of topics, and not only what you are successfully responding to the particular topic that you are given to respond, but others' responses also are important. If you see, I may keep noting what are the topic given, and in case if it were to be posed to me, what would be my response? It's a kind of small game I play. So it helps me practice things in my mind. So table topic responses and topics are a rich source for your speeches. Then personal experience. You have somewhere along school, college, workplace experiences, relate them and make a speech. How can you make that as a speech is that in any given a personal experience or anecdote, when it is connected, you have to make a generalized statement, generate a generalized statement and make conclusion or make an observation. And that it can be a speech. So these are resources for topics, and this is one point I wanted to address while designing the speech. Designing a speech, let's say know how now. Purpose of a speech is IIEP. It's an acronym again. IIEP is anywhere in the world, very broadly if you consider, there are only 4 kinds of speeches. One I is it's for inspiration, speeches for inspiration. Second I is you speak to inform. Third is E, it is you are speaking to entertain. And fourth is persuasion. You speak to persuade. These are the basic purposes of a speech, irrespective of the pathways that are there are 11 pathways. In each of these things, you can direct those speeches in these directions. There is no mix up there. Then, what are the study methods that Toastmasters expects you? And this I keep telling to the new members when he's inducted, and we give a small orientation in our club. In that, I keep telling method adapted to be adapted, and it has been incorporated by Toastmasters International into their volume manuals is SAF, SAF, study, action, feedback. You study the material given there. Action is writing, preparing, drafting, and getting mentored. And when you give the speech, there's going to be a feedback. So this is the process that is fixed into the Toastmasters International meeting, and this is the way we get benefited and grow gradually and organically. Then let's talk about icebreaker. The know-how. Today, what happens in pathways is you are going to talk about family, interest, and profession. And there he gives the instruction of OBCR how to organize a speech into opening body conclusion. He builds into it. Used to be a separate speech earlier, but now it is built into this. And besides this organizing a speech, he talks. There are few things that are given, know-how aspects. That is A to G here. Please see the cursor. I wanted to draw your attention to this. Any speech today, once the speech is organized in a particular way as opening body conclusion, the stress is on clarity. I'll not read the rest of the things because it's very obvious. It is there with every evaluation form for every speech, these 7. That is clarity, eye contact, vocal variety, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, and interest. So when we talk of this, when they are pointing out this, that number 1 is clarity, please note. And why they are doing that is that if you, I want to bring some kind of an example from TV shows. If you see, there was a very popular show, KBC, Kaun Banega Crorepati. In that, initially it was Amitabh Bachchan. Sometime later, you saw Shah Rukh Khan, the Bollywood star. Both are Bollywood stars. One is maybe a star brighter, another less brighter, let us say. And then after some time, what happened was that they brought back Amitabh Bachchan. You may wonder, the whole structure of KBC was same, but yet they brought back Amitabh Bachchan. You may wonder why. In fact, I wonder. And the reason was that Amitabh Bachchan makes the audience more comfortable. And he's audience friendly. He gives that maybe that body language, the gestures, the vocal variety, the works, clarity, eye contact, all works. He more aware of audience and audience interest, how they think. The whole works is there in place with him. Whereas maybe Shah Rukh Khan, keeps a distance, even though his gestures may be right, but he gives a condescending impression that I'm bigger and you may not be that big as me. Whereas Amitabh Bachchan may not be doing that. It's a kind of perception that I have, but these are the things that you convey with, and the words may be same, the way you convey it becomes important. The sum total of what I am trying to tell is that the content, the whole words may be same, the body, the idea behind the speech may be same, but the way you convey becomes important. How you convey is equally important or more important than what you convey. Let us put it that way to sum it up. And application aspects, let us say if you have all these tools, opening body, conclusion, clarity, eye contact, words like that, then there are applications. That first application you will come across is that research your topic in pathways, level 1 itself. The principle behind that is keep it simple again. KISS principle, I always talk. KISS principle, keeping it straight and simple. That is, research your topic is you search for a topic. Normally you fall into one that you already know. And what is it that exists as a gap in that knowledge? And that gap, if you fulfill or fill, that becomes research. First search for the topic, then search for a pattern within the topic, and beyond that you have to search for gaps in the information or something that is not known to everybody. Bring it up, and that forms your research. You have done search and research. Then getting comfortable with visual light. For example, when you are projecting in a physical meeting, don't block the visual, the screen itself. Please, maybe you should stand to a side. Or for example, today if I am successful, enough, I can pat myself back because maybe half an hour back I have lined up with Sai Snehal Reddy and we took a trial so that I don't really falter when I'm delivering the talk today. So some kind of a preparation is needed, and you should become comfortable not only with the visual projection, but what you are going to talk, given that particular point, you should be knowing that. And you will get it after some time, but please, you have to put some practice into it. Persuade with power. Persuasion is that I'm giving a talk, a certain way of doing things. You will be giving making a pitch with your customer. You make a PowerPoint projection, give a talk, but he should be convinced whether he's persuaded to buy the idea, buy your product or a project. It is up to him. So persuasion is from your side. Sale or buying an idea happens during the course of it. So that is not fully in your hand. Whereas inspiration is different. I wanted to bring this point also. Difference between inspiration and persuasion is different. And the inspiration is that when a person gives a talk, it is beyond himself by appealing to the noble motives, higher beliefs of achievement. And when a person does that, normally what happens is that the people listening to it, they drop their routine task and join him in their movement, in his movement or the leader's movement. Like take Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela. It's an example. Or Bal Gangadhar Tilak, the Quit India movement in 1942. Leaders were there to inspire. So, or you take Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he came up with a word saying that Swaraj is my birthright. So with that, people joined the movement. So they are people who are speaking beyond themselves. They are not speaking for themselves. They are the inspiration. So the inspiration talks are different. So now that I have told, let me move to the next one. Know how I have told. Designing the speech. Let's go to you. I have talked of OBC, ABC, XYZ. Now, a person, as a member, you have, let us say, an anecdote only. You have an anecdote. You want to talk on that, how to convert it into a speech. So what you have to do is, I have already mentioned, find a relatable, well-known story. Relatable. So you have to discover relation between your personal anecdote or a well-known story, make the connection. This is a critical line, making the connection, and arrive. Then you have you have to arrive at a quotation fit for opening. I'll give an example. Say, let us say I have I just want to say I want to start with a, let us say, I have a quotation straight away. I have only quotation opening. Let us talk about quality. Quality statement, one of the statement of quality is doing it right the first time, each time, and every time. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This is a speech I'm starting. And I have made a statement about quality. Then I will move to the next space, and there I will say, let me give an example. A patient walks into a doctor's hospital's OPD chamber, OPD outpatient department with acute case of stomach pain. And I will tell that anecdote which I have with me. And I have already opening with a quotable quote from quality and how that quality is maintained or not maintained in that hospital. I can talk. And I will come to that little later if possible. And so you have a quotation, you can start. And or you have an anecdote or a joke, you can relate a quotation. Like, for example, I can say, Japanese have something called anecdote is that, okay, I'll not elaborate because there's a constraint of time. So I will come back to that little later, as I said. You have a topic, if you have a topic, like you want to talk on quality, you have to find an opening the way I have told, and then find BOS, boss, that is some kind of a body of a speech you have to find. Body of the speech, if you find, then you have a quotation, a body of the speech. Then you have to make a conclusion. Now let me narrate one small joke. If doctors are there, don't take it any otherwise. So let us say, doing it right the first time, each time, and every time. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. A person rushes into the OPD of a hospital with complaining of acute stomach pain. Doctor says, lie down. There's a nearby bed. He says, lie down. And he puts his stethoscope, check this, and presses the stomach area to of the patient. The patient shouts, oh, no, don't touch. It's very painful. Don't. Is it here? No, don't touch. He's in such a pain. And then doctor says, okay, these tests you do, tests are brought. And he said, is anybody with you? So, yes, sir, my wife is there. Okay, I will talk to her. Patient says, is it serious, sir? I'll tell her, don't worry. You calm down, you be here. So he goes to his wife and tells her that he has to be operated and he's an acute case of appendicitis. She signs, and doctor comes in and is taken to the operation theater, and he was operated, and all the band-aid, everything is put, and he's discharged within a few, maybe whatever little time it takes, and within few days he comes back to the doctor. Doctor asks, what is the problem now? He says, I'm having a lot of pain, sir, in my stomach. I'm unable to bear. He said, doctor says, lie down. Then doctor says, look, I have to open the sutures. I put the stitches. I have to cut through that and find out there's no other way. They agreed, sign it, and again agreed. They open the sutures, and doctor says to the patient, I'm very sorry. I have left a small piece of cotton inside. That is one that was causing this problem. He said, now I'll have removed it and it should be all right. And I'll put the stitches. You take these medicines, you should be all right. But within 2 days, again, he comes back. Now doctor is frustrated. Now what is the problem? Anyway, you lie down again, we'll cut through and see. And he sees that and he says, I'm very sorry, I left a small piece of surgical blade inside. That is why it happened. I think I have removed it. I will close the wound, stitch it, and you should be all right. Patient says, don't do that. Please put a zip there. So, see, you can understand patient has lost confidence. If you think now you have to have a real one. This is something that happened like blade leaving and the cotton being there, and it's real incident. You can see in Google. I have enough cuttings on that. And in fact, the Fortis Hospital, I would like to take the name of a hospital in Delhi. It happened that there was an accident and a young man was brought to the hospital, and the leg was in a very bad shape. They operated. And the next day they found that they have operated the wrong leg. And later on they offered the operation for the second leg free of cost. So it is not that it doesn't happen, it happens. Now the moral of the story is something has to be told as a conclusion. That is one called, ladies and gentlemen, every time you do a job, there has to be procedure, process, and system in place. Planning, or as in quality checks, they say PDCA cycle, it has to be taken through. Planning, plan, design, check, and act. And that's what all the head nurses, all the doctors are trying day in and day out. Mistakes do happen, but we keep it to the minimum and bare minimum so that nothing untoward happens. Over to Toastmaster. How I'm talking on picking up one quality stuff, quotation, ending with one more quality, relating it to one that incident that took place, and the one that as a joke I have brought in. So this is the way you can proceed if you can connect it up, and you have a speech in place. So if you, how to do the, there is something else that is called select the suitable transition. I will come to that in the next slide, how to arrive at that transition. I talked of that already, and I'll give one example of that. And how do you know your speech is complete? I would like to bring in here a saying by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote a Sherlock Holmes series of books. He says, under the note I have written here, when you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, is the truth. You remove what is not required, you arrive at a certain clarity. And that is through the fundamental definition of communication. What is the definition of communication? Is that communication is conveying a thought or an idea in either oral or written form. That we do in Toastmasters both ways, writing and oral. And precisely arrive at what you want to convey. You will be successful if you follow a method. Then transition, I said, this is also a part of the designing of a speech. If you take transition, typical transitions can be words, phrases, and statements. The way to remember is that in schools and colleges, we always talk of who said to whom and why. That is the one that connects a general one to the realistic one, the close, the story that you want to narrate. So let us say typical transition words are afterwards, also, but consequently, consider, finally, instead, later, meanwhile, moreover, next, then yet. These are all typical ones. Phrases according to, as a result, for example, for instance, in addition to, let us begin with, this is a very favorite topic for the college lecturers. Let us begin with, or let us suppose. Let us suppose is, let us assume some things. So, and let us say more importantly, this means to illustrate. I make a point, let me illustrate this with one incident that occurred in Fortis Hospital. That's what I could have used as a transition. Statements or questions, third one I'm talking. In this program, if this program is valuable, why everyone is resisting it? And then he can talk why people are resisting and how to overcome that resistance. Then another one is we must consider three things in developing this product. First is what, second is what, third is what. So these are the typical transition you have to bring to extrapolate, elongate your speech. And let me give one small hint. A 7-minute speech is typically, it consists of, let us say, 1 minute of opening, 1 minute of conclusion, in between 2 or 3 body of the speech, in which you have to spend 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes in 2 body of the speeches, one for opening, 1 minute for closing, you have 7 minutes with you. That means you have to be alert if you can extend a typical table topic response a little longer, elongate it, you have the speech in place. So I have given this much, and helpful tools available. This especially Pathways is very, very well designed. Here, speech outline worksheet is given. Here, you have to just fill up in the PDF format, enter by you download the speech outline worksheet, enter main points, couple of points, and below that is given the extension as an extension of worksheet. Something else is given where you can really take that some of the points and some of the body of the speech you think can be useful, and then enter directly into it, and a speech form just appears as it is. And it's very, very helpful, I find that. And the tool is should be used all the time. I wanted to bring some awareness towards it, attention towards it. That's what I have done by making a point of telling in this talk. Project checklist is given, and you have to commit yourself to your VP by making a particular day as the day that you will be giving the speech. And once you do that, I have already told 3 hours, write, rehearse, and record. Then evaluation form helps checking the completeness of your speech. I have told about that. And with that, I have come to the end of my talk. I don't know how much time I have taken to complete, but I am now opening myself to being questioned, and I do my best to answer your queries. Over to perhaps, and I would say thank you for the opportunity given to the club officers, I would say. Now I will go to the gallery view to handle the questions. Over to Toastmasters.
Yes, sir. I have a doubt. Look, can I ask?
Yeah, but 1 minute. Let me go to the gallery view if our coordinator permits, so that I can see your face. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sai, can you?
No, sir, not yet. You'll have to stop sharing the screen, sir.
Okay, I'll do that. I've done it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Gallery view.
Sir,
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay,
Myself, Chandrasekhar.
I understand.
Sir, I used to give 2 hours lecture, which was very popular and many people appreciated it. I was a very popular trainer cum lecturer. But to give a 5-minute speech, 7-minute speech, I find it very difficult. Can you kindly guide me, sir, please?
This is the problem. In fact, even great public speaker like Winston Churchill had, not you alone. So you can compare yourself to Winston Churchill. So he was asked once by one of the citizens when he gave a talk in a small town during World War II. He was told that, sir, why don't you come to our county, our village also, you can give for 5 minutes, you give us a speech that is sufficient. For that, Churchill responds saying that for giving 5 minutes speech, I need 2 months preparation. But if you give me 20 minutes, I can go and speak in your village right now. So longer speeches are not difficult. The shorter ones is difficult. That's why TV advertisements, that their money amount is fixed by seconds. You have to put across whatever you want to tell within seconds. So the lesser the time, the effort required is more, because you have to make the impact within the short time available to you. The difficulty is real, and that is where a lot of time and effort goes. If you see the DTM Nagaraj Rao's speech in Las Vegas when he stood for election as for international president, maybe he might have gone through 30, 40 iterations to arrive at that 2.5 minutes that what he wanted to convey. He spoke brilliantly that day. And it takes that much of effort. And in fact, one of the World Championship of Public Speaker, I think he's from Singapore, I forget his name. And he said that he wrote the speech 150 times to arrive at what he wanted to convey. So the shorter ones take longer time and more effort. Next question, please.
Vijay Upendra here. Vijay Upendra here.
Yeah, tell me,
Can I?
Upendra.
Sir, converting a speech, written speech into virtually picturization mentally, will that help a person to speak better?
Oh, sure. In fact, I suggest the typical way you are mentored is that you write the speech. I always recommend the other way. First, you speak whatever you want to speak, and then write. You speak, then you know, record it, for example. Speak, record. Then you know what to remove and what to add, if at all. and then use that to enter into your PC or laptop, and you have those things in your own words. And because it is there in your own words, and it is not, you are going to describe that same thing, maybe one or two words go here and there, but you will always be able to deliver a speech. And it is very successful method which I adopt. Initially I used to write, struggle through that, but I don't do it any longer. So in fact, this was brought out by DTM Amitabh Saharai also. Initially, he used to write and I used to make him. Then he said, it is putting so much constraint in me. He's making me kind of bound to it. Is there a way to get out? Then I came up with another thing that has to be told, because it depends on person to person. I told him, you can really relate to a story through the images, visuals inside your mind, and narrate that visual, and in a language that is your own. And then you don't have to really by heart, because you are driving the whole words through the image, and the word comes for that image. Attach the words to the image, and the speech comes through. I think I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Here.
Ujjwal here.
Yeah.
So by this educational session, so should we take away that we should always, like not always, we should prepare only the speeches which you are like really comfortable with, or is it good to prepare speech which we do not know anything about the topic, so that we can learn more about the topic?
Yeah, I'll answer that question. There is one, these things are not given in pathways, because I come from old school of Toastmasters, written hand by hard copy stuff. There he mentions in one place, your speech should be AAO. Again, I believe in making acronyms so that I remember, and it may help you also to remember. AAO stands for your ability, audience, what they want, and O, occasion. When something sad has happened, for example, somebody has died, my own doctor friend has died recently. Two of my doctor friends have died recently. And on that occasion, I should be talking as a group. We had a meeting, and I should be not talking in a very flippant way. I should be serious, fitting to the occasion. There are times I have to be talking in a lighter vein, and that's what perhaps is expected. So it depends on the occasion. I should also speak with regard to the occasion, audience, what they want to listen. Audience interest becomes important, or the way I put across should be important, and so that audience latch on to that. Okay, audience interest and my own ability. I should not talk beyond my ability. What they call in boxing terminology, I should not punch above my weight, beyond my weight. So I should be talking what is expected of me at my age, at my ability, my experience. If I talk, I will come out more authentic person. So that is how AAO, remember. And that is what the pathway says in the 7, in the evaluation sheet, all the sheets, they give that 7 thing: clarity, gestures, audience awareness, audience interest, whole lot of stuff, only that. I think I have handled that question. Next one, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So Krishnamurthy here.
Yeah.
In an online meeting, I'll be looking at the camera. How will I be aware of the audience? I will not be looking at them.
So it's very, very simple. You don't bother about, the one thing is that somebody somewhere in school or college, you'll have been on the stage. Okay, I never acted in a drama because somebody fell sick. I was pushed to act a particular role because I was the organizer. So in the last minute, I was pushed, and I think overnight I by-hearted that years ago, it took decades ago. Overnight I by-hearted all the lines. And when my role came, I went in on the stage and I did my role. Somebody later on said that you acted very well. Are you experienced? I said, no, I have by-hearted well. The reason I acted is, is perhaps when the spotlights on the stage on that day, rehearsal, it was not, no spotlights were there. But when the spotlight comes onto you, you don't see the audience. They are sitting in the darkness. You cannot see them. And initially when I was speaking, I used to think about audience. Later on, I forgot that audience are there in front of me. One of the important things I do is that I blind myself as with regard to audience who are there. And I'll be keeping eye contact, vocal variety, whole stuff is there. I keep an eye on who is reacting to what. All the time, I'm seeing that right now, Dr. Arundhati is looking at me, and I see Krishnamurti is looking maybe positioned in a different way. Sai is smiling. I keep, and Sridevi is having her arm wrist against her chin. All the time, and Prakash is drinking water, and all the things are there. And I keep an eye, but that doesn't distract me anymore, because I consider that there is nobody in front of me. I'm speaking for myself. I'm convinced about what I'm trying to convey as an idea or thought to the audience. I convince myself, and convincing myself brings confidence in me. Anything more, sir? I think red card has gone up. I think it must have gone up for the second time. Any more question I will take, and then otherwise I would like to close. I think because there is so much silence, I consider a timer, Toastmaster Lalana, is it time
Yes,
up?
40 minutes. 40 minutes is up, sir.
Oh,
Sir,
thank
one
you very
last
much.
question.
Okay, sir.
Last question,
Can
if you
I
permit.
have to, no, a minute, 40 minutes is over. Can I take the question?
Yes, sir.
Toastmaster,
One
sir.
last question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, talking to others is okay. When we're talking to some seniors and experts, what we think they are better, then it creates tension. How to overcome that?
Okay, I have talked, the courage and confidence comes from conviction. Conviction about what as an idea you are trying to convey, whether it is to juniors or seniors. There is a saying that one thing I came across a saying which is by, I forgot that person name, Jefferson, somebody. He says that command wisely, you will be obeyed cheerfully. Command wisely, you will be obeyed cheerfully. The reason is that before you really utter, irrespective of the hierarchical position, whether it's senior, junior, if you utter your words carefully weighed and then thought through the problem, when you are able to think through the problem and then utter your words, there will be a lot of weightage and you start commanding respect. And that is how you will gain traction. And that's how they will be forced to listen to you. And that has been the case with me over years. I think I have handled the question. Am I right? Yep. I think with that, I would like to hand over the control back to Toastmasters.